Alright guys, so on Friday I just bought a stock, and the stock I bought is called SoFi. Now SoFi is a fintech refinancing company. I've been following the stock closely for over a year now, and it's been getting hit hard because Biden decided to pause student loan repayments. And student loan repayments was basically like 60% of SoFi's business, and they had to readjust their business model just to keep afloat. But some news have come out recently that student loan payments will be 100% coming back, and I believe they were starting up in October. And just on that news alone, SoFi stock went up like 100%, over 100% in just over a week. And what's heartbreaking is that I'd actually bought into SoFi before that and sold as soon as it went a little bit green. I didn't think it was going to go up that much, but that's just sometimes what happens when you decide to take profits, and it's just the name of the game when it comes to stocks. But I want to tell you the reason why I'm risking buying back into SoFi despite the big bull run that they just had, and that is because on Monday they will be releasing their quarterly earnings. This is basically where the company reports like revenue growth, customer deposits, and just how well the company is doing overall. And SoFi usually beats on all of these fronts at Wall Street's estimates. And I have personally played earnings twice with SoFi, and the first time I played it was I bought in before earnings, and then they released it and it was very good, and the stock went up like 20, I think it was up nearly 30% on the day, but it opened up like 15-20% when the market opened, and I sold for a nice £500 profit. But recently I played it and I got burnt because what happened was SoFi had beaten on the earnings per share and customer deposits and all that, but they had lowered their guidance. And when a company lowers their guidance, this revision indicates that the company expects to perform worse than previously anticipated. So what happened was the stock opened up at like 10%, and I thought it's going to do what it did before. I didn't really know much about like the earnings call, or what I didn't really research what I should have known. I didn't even know anything about this guidance, and basically because I had done that, even though they had beaten on everything else, the stock actually opened up like 10%, and I was in the profit, and I thought I was going to go up to like 20%. And yeah, it actually ended up, not only did it lose that 10%, it dropped like another 20%. So I could have sold in the green, but I just got a bit greedy and didn't really know what I was doing. And all the short sellers piled in. Short sellers is basically people that are betting against the stock. And yeah, they just absolutely killed the momentum. So I got burnt last time I did this. I played into earnings. This time I feel very confident and willing to take a bit of a risk on this one, because like I said, with the student loans coming back and SoFi just being a great company overall, I feel like this time it will be different. And if they mention or can achieve profitability this year, then the stock will be very valuable to investors. And if that's the case, then the stock could potentially be quite underpriced as of now. There's a few scenarios that can play out here, and I'm going to talk about the bearish scenario. A bear, you go in the stock market, they call it the bear and bull. So the bearish is meaning basically the stock's going to go down, so that means you're bear, and bullish means that you think the stock's going to go up. Now the bearish case scenario is, you know, SoFi don't beat on earnings, and or they lowered their guidance, or anything that Wall Street doesn't want to hear, or investors, and you know the stock could open up at like 10-15% and in the red. And if that's the case, then I will do what is called go long on the stock. I won't sell even though I'm in the red. I believe in the company and Anthony Noto, which is the CEO. I feel, you know, he knows what he's doing, and eventually SoFi will get back up to over the price of what I've bought in at. I do believe that. You know, it's always possible to lose your money in stocks and the companies just go bankrupt, but I don't believe SoFi will be the case with them. Now the second scenario could be like what happened last time, where, you know, they did pretty well on the earnings per share, and they beat on most fronts, but they lowered their guidance again, and it's just not what investors quite wanted to hear. And there's a lot of expectations for SoFi to be like doing really, really well, and they just can't really meet that demand right now because they're not profitable. So if it goes up on Monday a little bit at open, it might attract some investors and it might pump up 5-10%. If that's the case, then I will probably just sell and take profit. And you know, if it does continue to go up, I will just be okay with the fact that I sold and took a bit of profit. And as they say, no one ever went broke taking profit. It's very well that it could open like it did last time at 10%, and then it could just tank. It could just lose all of those gains and then tank 20%. And I will be much happier knowing that I sold before that happened, and I would rather sell at 5-10% and risk it going up another 10% than it doing what it did to me last time. So that's two scenarios that could play out, and the final scenario, which is going to be the best case scenario, which is what I hope happens, is that SoFi absolutely smash Wall Street's expectations. They mention profitability, and we potentially even get like a little short squeeze in the stock before it even opens, and I'll be checking on the pre-market, and yeah, that would just like make my day to know that once it opens, I'm already like, could be 15-20% up. And if that's the case, I would sell. I wouldn't get greedy. I wouldn't just be like, well, you know, maybe it's going to go 50% up. I'd rather take the profit. And I feel like that is the scenario that will play out. I feel like SoFi is a great company, and you know, despite that, I'm definitely still going into this with a game plan. Other stocks before, I've not done any research on them. I don't even know who CEO is or like how well the company's doing, and that can just be like the worst way to do it. So what we'll do is now is I'll wait until Monday, and let's see if the risk paid off and how well SoFi done. Okay, so it's now Monday, hence the reason why I'm in a different outfit. I've been to work. But yeah, SoFi released their earnings today, and they beat. They raised their guidance, which is great. I didn't think it was a massive surprise, but investors obviously must have done, because the stock price, as of me filming this video, is actually up 18%. So what did I manage to make in profit? So the stock opened up at around about 12%, and when I was watching it in the pre-market, it was like, it even went red during the day at one point, and I was very much like, oh, I'm gonna have to be sort of stuck in this play. But yeah, Anthony Noto, the CEO, came on a call, and I think he just like absolutely nailed it, to be honest, and that just got investors piling back in. And yeah, the stock was very volatile, and it looked like it was going to open up and just tank. But like I said before, I had a target in mind. I wanted 10%, and that was what I was going to sell at regardless. And it opened up like 12%, and I'll show you now that I made like 250 quid on that risk, that buy that I did. And I'm very happy with that. But if I'd held on for like another 5-10 more minutes, then that would have been like 20%. But you know, I was happy with what I made there. So yeah, I mean, SoFi is a great company, and I will potentially buy back into the company and hold it long term. But I think I need a bit more of a bit of a pullback after this massive run that it's just been on. It may not give me that opportunity. If it doesn't, then I'll just have to look for the next play. But yeah, this is a bit of a different video for my channel. I thought I'd just sort of show you what I do with stocks now and then, and how you can make quite good money if you're willing to take a risk. So if you're interested in maybe doing this or giving stocks a go, then I'd recommend the platforms that I use is Lightyear and Trading 212, and I'll try and drop a link for both of them below the video. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.